So this video is going to look at these 3 questions for the Jewish paper. So for the Judaism paper, we don't mention anything but Judaism. We make sure that we do not mention Jesus, because Jesus, while being Jewish, is not part of the Jewish religion as a belief system. So because they only believe that he was a human being, we are not going to mention Jesus, even if we get a Messiah question. So with that being said, we're going to look at this, and same as with Christianity, in the applied theology section it'll say what do Catholics mean by. In the Jewish paper it says what do Jews mean by, and exactly the same as in that paper. If you know your knowledge book keywords, that is the keyword you are putting down here. We do not need anything else that you think, oh, I don't know what the Jewish people mean by that. It's whatever your knowledge book says. If you've learnt your keywords, that is your answer. So, what do Jews mean by mitzvot? The mitzvot are the 630 and 13 rules / commandments / duties, whichever word you want to use there, found within the Torah given to Moses by God. 2 marks. What do Jews mean by synagogue? The synagogue is the house of assembly, prayer, and study. You will need all 3 to get the correct mark. If you just put that it is a place of worship, that is not correct. It is a house of assembly, prayer, and study. So you need all 3 for the 2 marks. So we then move on to describing the covenant with Moses. This is a 5 marker, so again I need 5 points. With the covenant of Moses, I can just do it into 1 paragraph, so that's point, evidence, explain paragraph. And I will need for a 5th mark my sparkle mark. Now, what I do not need to do with this question is retell the story. If I retell the story, I am not answering it in the correct way. So I'm putting it into a summary with a point. I am going to give evidence from the Torah, and then I am going to give the impact of that in my little explanation / sparkle mark at the end. So, what is the covenant with Moses? A covenant is an agreement between 2 parties. In this case, it is between God and Moses. There are 2 covenants that God makes with Moses. The first is where Moses promises to free the people from slavery, free the Israelites from slavery, and in return, God will help with his powers, the 10 plagues. Now, so I've got what covenant is. That would give me a mark there. I've got that the first one is the freedom from slavery with God's powers. So what does that mean? Well, today they're still going to remember this. They're going to retell the story of Exodus. That'll be my evidence. But they're retelling the story of Exodus at Pesach. So I'm giving the festival that they follow. So today, this is still remembered with the retelling of Exodus within the Haggadah. which is the book that they read at Pesach, which retells the story and has different parts for different people to play during Passover. Today, this is still remembered with the retelling of Exodus within the Haggadah at the festival of Pesach. Now, there are two parts of the covenant, so I need to put the second one in now. The second covenant between God and Moses is the Ten Commandments. God gives Moses commandments and promises to look after his people for as long as they keep them. Moses will have to teach them to follow the rules. So I've got four marks currently, sorry. I've got a mark here for what a covenant is. I've got a mark for the first part of the covenant and what it is. I've probably got a sparkle mark here for mentioning the Haggadah within Pesach. I've got another mark here for what the second covenant is, and I just need to say how it is used today. So Orthodox Jews today will keep as many of these 613 commandments as possible. That would then be my 5 marks.